81517, a date that all Sonic fans will always remember. Sonic Mania is such a phenomenal game that not only the gameplay is good, the experience is indeed good as well. The last time I had this sort of impression is Sonic Unleashed almost 2 decades ago, and everything else is just... Back to Sonic Mania. The game would receive overwhelming reaction from the community. The game can be found on PlayStation 4, Xbox, Steam, and of course, Nintendo Switch. The best Nintendo handheld ever made. But did you know there's also a port on another handheld? The story begins on July 28, 2016, a month and few days later after the game was firstly announced. An indie company by the name of Renegade Kid offered to develop a port of Mania to 3DS, the previous gen handheld device. But who is Renegade Kid? Who are the developers? Here's a little history. Jules Watsham and Greg Hargrove are two important people for this discussion. Jules firstly worked with Iguana Entertainment, which would then become the ill-fated Acclaim in 1993. He is the lead artist that helped developing 2D animations for games like Everyday Acrobat and NBA Jam. He would then continue to work there until 2004. Greg, on the other hand, also joins Iguana in 1994 for the next 10 years. After that, they both met up and worked together to form Renegade Kid in 2007, a company that released most if not all of the titles on handheld devices like 3DS and DS, with Dimension of the World being the debut title. Obviously, they weren't that well known by most people out there, but they keep on trying with their passion. It wasn't until 2012 where they worked with GameScribe to create Pitch Win Play, a competition where developers out there can submit their ideas to be turned into an actual game made by Renegade themselves. However, with a lackluster response, the competition never really took off. Even though it sounds good on paper, it eventually got scrapped just 4 months later. They went on to make multiple games for the next few years, including Mutant Mudds, which was liked by many people, but I haven't played, so you have to tell me if it's good or not. They tried to sign a deal for a licensed game, but the problem is that the developer have to deal with all financial issues previously handled by the publisher, so they turned it down. From there on, they became an indie company. However, the road remains bumpy. Their next game, Moon Chronicles, released on 3DS, sold poorly and almost put them out of the business. But then, Zero Drifter helped to keep them afloat, but not for long. The inevitable eventually arrives. And on August 29, 2016, a month after the initial idea to port Sonic Mania to 3DS, both Greg and Jules announced they will be shutting down Renegade Kid forever, with both splitting their properties. Jules created Atooi, a company that focused on 2D stuff, while Greg created Infinitesimal, which focuses on 3D games. Atooi is still around making games to this very day, but unfortunately, the latter is not lucky, as the man himself, Greg Hargrove, is not with us anymore. And the company itself is safe to say is abandoned. Rest in peace, Greg. So that's a short history of Renegade Kid. No need to thank me. A company made by two ambitious men that love video games. They made their own company and released a couple of games, but sadly never received worldwide attention. We can see that they tried their best to show their effort that went under the radar of so many, and the end result is not gaining much support, especially Sonic Mania for 3DS, which never got a reply from Sega. Unlike Christian Whitehead that pitched an idea to port Sonic CD to mobile devices, Renegade Kid weren't that lucky to get the same treatment from Sega. And you know what? This is not the first time. Previously, Renegade Kid also reached out to port Mighty No. 9 to 3DS, but got rejected, for better or worse. And upon my research, they were also making a Crash Bandicoot game for Nintendo DS, but Activision being Activision and shut down their project, which is a bummer. Let's not forget that they also tried to make a game on Kickstarter, but unfortunately failed. Bottom line, Renegade Kid have the ability to make games, but no one are willing to give them a push for higher ground. This just shows you how game development is hard. It's a risk versus reward thing that never make you feel satisfied on your hard work. You don't feel like you achieve anything most of the time. You have to be lucky to get a large amount of attention that rarely happens to you. You know, games like Among Us, Undertale, Fall Guys, etc. receive a lot of popularity, but then the rest of the product aren't the same. It's not fun being a developer, to be honest, because like I said, you won't get what you wanted in return for the most part, and instead having to deal with lots of problems beyond your control. And Renegade Kid is the best example. And that's why this story will remain in the missing archive. Thanks for watching.